Drew Brees' comments in an interview on Wednesday with Yahoo has taken the sports world by storm this week. He was asked about players kneeling potentially this season during the national anthem, as Colin Kaepernick did back in 2016. And he said he would never support anyone disrespecting the flag of the United States of America. I'm Sierra Goodwill, here with Evan Lazar and Mike Petraglia. Now, these comments sparked outrage from professional athletes across all sports leagues and non-athletes, all on social media, from LeBron James, the McCourty twins, to Brees' own teammates. There's been a lot of backlash that he's received, calling his comments insensitive. And so Brees came out with an apology on Thursday, saying that he needs to do a lot less talking and a lot more listening. Guys, what has been your reaction to all of this fallout from Brees' original interview?
Well, guys, what I think on this is athletes have to be incredibly careful with their words during this. I mean, I don't think that is any brilliant deduction on my part. It's very, very dangerous to say something in a climate that is already charged racially on both sides, obviously. And I think, you have the African American community in the NFL, which has always been very vocal, much like the NBA, in terms of standing for civil rights and really promoting the advancement of civil rights, not only in the NFL, but in their local communities. I mean, on the Patriots, all you have to do is look at the McCourty twins and Matthew Slater and how they articulate so incredibly well what the African American community faces throughout, not only in their particular community, but throughout other urban areas in the National Football League. And if you're Drew Brees and you say anything at all, you have to be very, very careful not to offend in a charged climate like this.
Yeah, I think for me, the one thing that Drew Brees said was that it's time for him to listen. I think that's a really great message, even though all of us want to speak out and be vocal and kind of get our sort of perspective on these issues out there. We really need, especially coming as a white male in this country, to listen to what people are telling you, to what the Black community is telling you, to understand these issues, because we cannot possibly be in their shoes. We can't walk in their shoes, and we can't understand it from that perspective. So listening to his Black teammates, listening to other people in the community that have a better perspective on this, that's what Drew Brees should be doing, and not kind of going out there and responding right away the way that he did. And I think what he was saying is a testament that a lot of people sort of support. We've seen that with Colin Kaepernick and that whole fiasco, is that, it's about the troops, it's about supporting the flag, but it's obviously never been about the flag, right? It's never been about that sort of thing. It's always been about racial injustice, police brutality, standing up for those types of things. So no one's trying to disrespect the flag. That's the one thing I think that people like Drew Brees continue to fall back on, that people that are trying to be a little bit less ignorant on the issue are continuing to say, is that it's not about the flag, it's not about the flag. So do some listening, Drew Brees. Let your teammates like Malcolm Jenkins explain to you the situation and understand kind of what's going on in the country for Black people, because it's not the same as what's going on for you, Drew Brees.
And a lot of people before this incident looked up to Drew Brees as a hero in his community. He was known for everything that he did after Hurricane Katrina, and he's really a pillar of the NFL. That's why his words carry so much weight, and why these comments kind of took the world by storm, because of the influence and the platform that Brees has as one of the pillar quarterbacks in this league. Do you think that it's important for other white quarterbacks like a Tom Brady, who have similar influence, similar platform, to speak out on this? And what's the right course of action for players like Brees in the league at this time?
Well, first of all, there are a couple of things here. The reason that it is what it is right now, Sierra, is social media. This does not exist 10, 15, 20 years ago, for good and bad. And that's why, when you say there was such reaction to what Drew Brees said earlier in the week, that's why, because it just became a lightning storm that traveled across social media at light speed. So that is that point. As far as Tom Brady is concerned, what I would say about that is, unless you're going to say the right thing and you feel comfortable and genuine about your comments, don't say anything at all.
Yeah, I think that, listen, it's important for people with those big platforms, with that big of a support, to speak out about these issues and explain to people what's going on and sort of be kind of, a beacon for the Black community, because Brady, quite frankly, Drew Brees, these guys are like Captain Americas, right? They're white males that are quarterbacks of NFL
Right.
football teams. They are, the pinnacle of America in a lot of ways. So to have them come out and support their teammates, support Black communities, and be on the right side of this and be on the right side of history, I think is saying a lot and doing a lot, even if they're just kind of releasing these statements and making donations and doing that kind of thing. I think that it's doing a lot more than people realize, because their followers, their fans, they're going to side with the athletes. And Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, whatever athlete you want to use, they have a huge voice and they have a huge say in what people think, believe it or not.
And, the one thing that I would add to that is, when you come out and make a statement, I think that doesn't carry nearly as much weight as you coming out and recording something, whether it be on social media, whether it be over the airwaves in broadcast form. Your face saying the words with genuine intent is what carries the most weight. I don't think issuing a statement, you see all these companies, see all these teams, all these leagues issuing statements of, we stand up against racism. Well, in this particular case, I think it carries a lot more weight if the athlete wants to make some type of statement. They do it with their mouth, with their face in front of a camera, look into the camera, and get people to really believe the message that they are carrying out. Because I don't think the written word in this particular case carries nearly as much influence as saying it themselves and people seeing the message coming from the particular individual.
I absolutely love that point. I was just going to add before I wrapped up that he made the comments that hurt so many people on an on-camera interview. You should then try to remedy the situation in the same platform that you did the harm by sending out a video. I thought that would have been a lot more heartfelt and genuine if Brees took that action. But for all of our coverage on this incident, NFL and Patriots news, find it on our website at clnsmedia.com, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Patriots Press Pass.